Welcome everybody to Busy Bee Creations 3D very first YouTube channel video. Let's start with introducing myself. My name is Brooks and I am starting this video to follow along on my new obsession, hobby, hopefully business someday, of 3D printing. I really started getting into 3D printing a couple months ago. Well, I shouldn't say get into 3D printing. I started getting interested in it. Warning, I have never 3D printed something. I have never done a 3D design before this. So I am new. But I really started getting interested, and all I could do is look up videos on YouTube, look up videos online about other people's adventures and progressions, and learning about 3D printers, the machines, the designing, and it has just sparked a creativity and interest in this world. And I want to make videos and start 3D printing, and what I'm hoping is that there's other people that are doing the same thing. New people getting into 3D printing. Maybe they can learn from watching me learn, learn from my mistakes, see the ways that I'm going about it. And maybe people who are already into 3D printing, and it's entertaining them to see someone struggle, because I'm probably going to struggle. So let's kind of go over my plans, my goals. So first thing I need to do is get a 3D printer, and I do have one on the way. It actually should be getting delivered today according to the tracking. I decided to go with the Bamboo P1S. After a lot of research and looking up videos and reviews, it seemed like probably the best printer for someone just getting into it. I could have got something a little bit less expensive like the Bamboo A1 Mini, but as much as I wanted to get into this, I didn't want to get something I'd have to upgrade later. So I decided to spend a little bit extra, get something, and get it with the enclosure. I got it with the AMS because I really want to do multicolored prints. And so hopefully that gets here today, and my next video will be an unboxing. So excited, very excited. But let me kind of go over what have I been doing from 2 months ago to today, from the day that hopefully I'm getting my printer. Obviously so much research, trying to figure out and learn the designing software, and just seeing all the different options. We got Tinkercad, we got Fusion 360, we got Blender, we got AutoCAD, we got all sorts of different ones, and just jumping into that, it's confusing. But only one way to do it, and that's watch videos, do tutorials. I started with Tinkercad because that seemed like the most basic and user-friendly one, and I made a couple designs on there. I got a design, edited it, made my own designs, and then I moved on to Fusion 360, where it seems like I have a little bit more options to fine-tune things. But maybe that'll be a video down the road. And then researching slicing software. I'm getting a Bamboo, so the main one that I've been playing with is Bamboo Slicer, Bamboo Studios. But there's also Orca. There's all sorts of different ones that I haven't tried, and maybe down the road we'll give them a try.
You can do it!
But yeah, so I've already designed a handful of my very own designs, and I've also already downloaded some free ones off of the many different sites that I found that you can download STLs. We've got Maker World, which obviously going back to bamboo. We've got printables. We've got all sorts of different ones, and there's so many. And I've already found ones that I really like, and I want to print them. And all of a sudden, my list of things that I say I want to print when I get this is just growing and growing. I'm like, I'm gonna have months of prints before I even know what to do with. But then my goal, once I get into it and learning more and really fine tuning my knowledge and ability, I obviously eventually would like to try and start a business, maybe start a Etsy shop or Shopify. I'd like to be able to sell some prints and hopefully pay for a printer, maybe get another printer, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I definitely have low expectations when it comes to that side of it. I'm going into this as a hobby and a learning experience, and going into it wanting to have fun. And I think that's what is super important if you're wanting to get into this, not going headfirst into it thinking that I'm going to make money, I'm going to be able to pay my printer off, I'm going to be able to buy more printers, I'm going to make it rich, which I don't think that's the way to do it. I think going into it as something that you like doing and you find it as a passion and you have fun doing it, the other stuff might come along. You get really good at designing, you make a really good product, you can put it out there and people buy it. Good for you, that's awesome. But I think the most important thing is that you have fun and you like what you're doing. So that's the way I'm going into it. A couple other things I wanted to kind of share is my experience, again, not even having a 3D printer and the expenses that's already started to happen. And you probably want to be aware of if you haven't started yet. First expense is obviously the big one, the printer. Like I said, I went with the P1S. You can get the lower end ones if you want to just start dabbling a little bit. But that's all up to you and your budget. But then I'm already getting the expenses. As soon as I started thinking about things I wanted to make and things I wanted to print, well, that thing needs to be this color. Well, I better order that color of filament. I'm gonna need a lot of black, so I'll order an extra black, extra white. I've already probably ordered and received 10 rolls of filament. I don't even have the printer yet, but that's another really big expense is going to be your filament costs. Thinking about the different tools you need. I already bought one tool. I got this little handy guy because, like I said, if I'm going to be wanting to make my own designs and prints, being able to get the designs, the size I want, everything, big tool you'll need. I will link any tools or anything in the comments down below, so if you have any questions or anything, you can reference that. And then I've also got a toolkit order that's gonna have the screwdrivers, the basic, the tweezers, the cutters, all sorts of stuff. But that's another expense. And then thinking about the prints, I was thinking needed, magnets and stuff like that, all things that'll start building up. But those are the expenses I've hit, and I haven't even got my printer yet. So keep that in mind when you're jumping into this. It's not just the cost of the printer. and a couple rolls of filament. You're going to have more costs when it comes to it. But I mean, that being said, I'm super excited. Hopefully that printer shows up today and we can unbox it, make another video. If you enjoyed this and think this is going to be something that you'd like to watch and be entertaining or educational, make sure you click subscribe and like down below. I'd really appreciate it, and I'm really hoping that this community grows and we can do some really cool things. But thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.